What are your general thoughts about Sam Sulek? We'll talk about him and then other social media bodybuilders.
Sam, before I say any of this, I'm not a hater. I barely know the guy. It's just I kept seeing his name and his face. I think he was all even on Joe Rogan. I mean, this guy is like super popular, and I saw his social media. He's got like millions and millions. I'm like, who is this guy? And then I love Hostel. I love Fuad. So when I saw that they picked him up, I'm like, man, this guy must be the real deal. Whoever this guy is. Started listening, like reading and listening and seeing social media and videos here and there. I'm like, man, this guy's really young, and the amount of like muscle he's got on, clearly he's on quite a bit of stuff. I mean, you see his physique, his skin, it just doesn't look good at all. And then I'm hearing some of the stuff as far as like his diet and what he does. I'm like, man, this is not, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I'm obviously going to probably sound like a hypocrite saying this because obviously I've done stupid stuff too. But I would say, especially with social media and having that big of a platform, I just think there's a lot of cats that are his age. What is he like? He's not even 20, 21. I don't know how old he is, but he's super young. Um, I think it's a disaster, to be honest, when you're not fully open. And I understand why you can't be, especially with that kind of, he's probably in his contract. He's got to have a certain image, as with most bodybuilders. So I get it. It's just that with the internet and these little kids, they see that and then they know that he's going to have to do this, and this to get big. And when you're not really super open about it or promote health, even just from eating, like some of the stuff that he's eating is like some of the worst shit I've ever. I'm just like, man, genetics are not like I keep hearing about genetics. It's like, nah, it's not just about genetics. Like, yeah, of course you can get away with stuff. Like, yeah, I can eat ice cream and still look, decent too. But does that mean that it's healthy? Does it mean that it's good as far as like promoting the sport, like eating ramen? Like, what benefit? Like, I get you're the college kid trying to promote, being on that kind of budget and eating, but I don't know. There's better information out there. It's either get another job, find some way to afford, doing it properly. Um, Not so much just macro based. I can just eat this and fit this in, whatever, and kind of eat junk and look halfway decent. But I don't think that's the best way to promote it when you have such a big platform. You got guys that are saying like, all right, well, I can eat a burger too. I can eat this and eat ramen and look like that and take God knows what. So I don't know. I just think he can be doing a little bit better as far as like promoting the sport better. But it's not a personal dig because from what I've seen, he's actually probably a really nice guy. So it's not a personal attack. But just from a bodybuilding perspective, is I think it's a train wreck, a disaster waiting to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's around for a while, in the sport. But just looking from the outside and knowing just a fraction of what it takes, especially at that age, and the platform he has, I think it's really bad, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a few things, so number one, having a YouTube channel or having several YouTube channels that I'm involved with, and looking at just the numbers that he's dealing with, man, he is not a poor college student anymore. That he can afford to.
Yeah, it's definitely the whole Kai Green thing of like promoting, like, come from the bottom, and it works. I mean, obviously, like there's so many guys that fit in that category of like the guys who are on the come up, the young guys. So I get it as far as why he got that popular. And like I said, if he has any kind of personality, which I haven't seen too much, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's great communicator. So he's like the next Chris Bumstead as far as like popularity. So I get it.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that you need to put I don't want to say facade, but just promote that as long as ramens fit your macros, that you're okay, and as long as all calories are created equal, like that is the biggest. I'm trying not to curse, but that is like the worst thing you can promote. And then just look at him. He just looks extremely unhealthy. I'm looking at this guy. I saw a couple of videos. I'm like, damn, this guy looks like you're like, bro, you all right? Like you look like you are
Mhm.
going through it.
Well, and it's funny because like, um, he uh he he's when I think about the comments on the video that I posted, like you said, this is not a personal attack. He sounds like a decent guy. Like he, I don't know what he's like as a person, so I can't really comment other than what I see and say, yeah, he seems like an okay guy. But there are some things that I can observe from what he does or what he says he does. And so, we talked already about things that you can do to mitigate risks while you're doing this, right? And I can tell you, if you're going to take the time to do your blood work, to have a physician monitor what you're taking and all this kind of stuff, if you are going to be that careful on that side, you are likewise going to be as careful with what you eat, how you
Yeah.
consume it, and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
so people pointed out in the comments that I don't know what he's taking. I don't know what his stack is. I don't know how healthy he's being or whatever. And they are absolutely correct. But when I observe, what he's talking about, what he's consuming for his diet,
Right.
and I think, well, that is not necessarily the same as steroids, but that behavior is a proxy for your behavior over there. And I think to myself, that tells me, yeah, you really don't care that much,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it
And
shows in his physique. Like you don't see what 19-year-old guy looks like that with that kind of development. And it's not. I'm not trying to sound like a hater. It's just obvious. It's super, super obvious. And I don't know what he's doing either. And I hope he's doing. And that's another thing. So like, even if because it's so obvious, you should maybe do a video. And again, maybe the videos out there, I haven't really seen too much of going to the doctor, showing you. There's other bodybuilders I know, like Guy Cicernino, maybe Nick Walker, guys that actually show like these doctors visits, the chiropractor visits, the getting the blood work done. Some even go over the blood work and just say, hey, stuff is good. It could be a bunch of bull, but at least they're showing that, hey guys, yes, this is, I don't have to go into every detail of what I'm doing, but obviously this is a part of it, but I'm taking some sort of precaution, at least show it on video. So like the kids that are his age, like, oh, okay, so maybe I do have to get checked up if you're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna do the cycle. You're gonna look up to these guys. So there's no point in saying, hey, don't do steroids. You're gonna obviously look at the video. You like the lifestyle. Something led you to click this video. So you're interested in one way or the other. So if you're going to do that, at least do this other thing as well. At least try to eat somewhat clean. At least try to take these, warm when you train, get your blood work done. Show the doctors, the chiropractor, the stuff that actually gets involved. Your health supplements, not the sponsored using your coworker, not that shit, but the actual like your CoQ10, like the stuff that you're actually taking, like for your cholesterol, if you are, your kidneys, or for all your major. Show what actually is being done, without showing, so much of the dark side, but make it known that, hey, it's a part of the sport as well. And because of that, I'm doing this and this and this to try to stay healthy. If he did that, then all right, cool. I wish you the best and hope he has a long career. And if he is, again, maybe I don't know. I didn't see too much of his videos, but from what I've seen, I don't think that video's out there right now.
Mhm. Mm-hmm. And likewise, I hope that he remains healthy. He has a long career, but I have seen, in creating content around this topic, I have seen way too many young athletes who are not here any longer, for various reasons, right? And it all probably centers around that. And when I think back, you mentioned just about how he looks at such a young age. Like when I was in university, I played football. So I'm Canadian. So I played at a Canadian university. And at that time, the university that I played at was basically like one equivalent to an American Ivy League team. So, the university that I played for, we won the Vanier Cup, which is, our highest level of football in the country. And being on a team that competitive, I was around dudes. I didn't take steroids, but I was around dudes that took steroids, right? I knew guys in high school that took steroids. But I can tell you, and even up until the point where I was drafted into the CFL, which is, compared to a Canadian equivalent to the NFL. Even up until that point, I did not see anybody that was a similar age that looked like that. And
Yep.
I knew some dudes that were doing steroids and lifting some heavy weight,
Yep.
right? And they still didn't look like that.
Yep.
So, granted, I'm not in the gym where I'm not in the gym now where everybody's taking steroids, and I'm not up to speed on what the current stacks are and all of that. But I can tell from my own experience, I never saw anybody that looked like that at that age. And I was around people,
And it's not even just the muscle. The muscular development is one thing, but he just genuinely looks unhealthy in his face. Like that's really what I'm. Yes, he's big, but he just looks. I don't know if you took a really good look at it. And again, I'm not. Hopefully, this doesn't sound bitter or whatever like that. But he just his face, his complexion, something just looks off. Like he just has that almost like abuse, like early abuse look. Like the physically, you can kind of tell like if you're abusing. And your skin texture, the amount of acne, just the way that the muscles form, you can just tell it's the quick route. It's just too much, too much, too fast.